Camera check, lights check, all set. What's broken can always be fixed, and what's fixed will always be broken. The name is Bond, Bond's base station. Here we are.
Here we are. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, Christian. How are you?
I'm doing good. What about you, Rizwan?
All well, all well. So I
Good
was
to hear.
telling my audience that what's broken can always be fixed, and what is fixed will always remain broken.
So true.
As we talk now, every second in the US, 2 smartphone screens are broken.
Yeah.
They say it's about, I think probably if you take into account the annual growth rate, more than around 60 to 70 million screens are alone broken in the US. Imagine uh, you're having your Huawei Mate RS 30, which is around $2,500. And suddenly you hear a cracking sound and you wish, God, let it be my bone. It's not.
Yeah.
So either it's Huawei Mate, P40 Pro or one of your iPhones. I don't understand why people always have to not protect their devices and they end up repairing it.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, I'm Christian from Brandt Glass. I'm in charge for global sales of our screen protectors, what we are producing for smartphones, tablets, notebooks, e-bike displays, car displays, literally any display you can imagine. And as you mentioned, every 2 seconds the screen breaks. We protect the screens from breakage with a probability of more than 95% that it's not breaking. And you can imagine that Panzerglas is like a physical insurance. So whenever our glass breaks, your display would have been broken for sure. And this also has a very green footprint, of course, because the ingredients of a display, there are rare soils, rare metals, and toxic ingredients. And if they land in a landfill, that's not a good idea. So what we are doing is we protect displays from breakage and from going into a landfill. And when our glass breaks, you can easily replace it. And our broken Panzer glass, you just put in the same bin where you put your broken or your recycling glass bottles.
Do you know that around the world, it costs around nearly $4 billion to repair these screens annually, which is more than the GDP of the budget of South Sudan. So this is how
I did not hear that before, but it's a nice comparison what I will use in the future for sales pitches. So thank you, Rizwan.
No, I wanted to prepare myself because you're always good with numbers and you have information. So I did some digging and I will keep digging while we are talking. I'll keep Googling. I have my notes here on my notebook,
Okay.
to throw simple questions at you. So the point is that smartphones have become a very integral part of our lives and we spend a lot of money. So, in terms of the economics around spending a lot of dollars or some, commodity, and then you do not want to protect it spending a little bit, which you take in terms of percentage. Let's say a Huawei or an iPhone, let's say $1,000. Let's take a ballpark figure. So out of $1,000, if even you're not willing to spend $20 to $30 to protect your device, and then once the screen breaks, you end up spending $200, $300 to fix it
Yes,
properly. Even if you go to a gray market, again, you're going to fix it, but then it will always remain broken.
that's true.
So, why not while you buy your device and protect it from the start?
Yeah.
So let's start with the questions. Then we'll go back to these other discussions. So So tell us a little bit about the Panzer Glass journey. What is Panzer Glass? Where the company started and where you guys are now. Over to you.
So Panzer Glass is a Danish company, and it's founded in 2013 by a guy and our CEO and founder now, Jimmy Olsen. He was at that time sales director at a company called DCC, Danish Computer Company, which belongs to one of the biggest family holdings in Denmark, the Juel Bach Holding. And he had this vision of creating a screen protector which is stronger than any other. And he called it Panzerglas, and he stuffed it with these strong colors and the strong kind of marketing package, which is black and orange. And since that time, we developed, I can say, with high speed. So it was a high speed journey from 2013 to 2020. We are now covering the whole globe. So we are in any continent. So we have offices in Australia, Melbourne. We have offices in Hong Kong. We have own factory in China. We have office in the US. We have office in Latin America, of course, Europe. And headquarters in Hinnerup, which is a little village close to Aarhus, which is the second biggest city in Denmark beside Copenhagen. And yeah, we are a team now of almost 100. So I have like 90 plus colleagues all over the planet. And it's really cool to work with Panzerglas. So it's a really family feeling, I can tell.
Thanks. I remember in 2016, if I'm not wrong, I met Jesper in AfricaCom in Cape Town. I think probably that was the time. Yeah,
my friend Jesper. Yeah.
I think that was the time where our friendship started. The industry friends and colleagues who know me, they know that I'm obsessively in love with gadgets. My family sometimes say the amount of gadgets you have in your room is you're always protecting them. So in certain products, and especially when it comes to gadgets and phones, I boast it myself. If someone doesn't want to agree with me, but majority of the people take my word for it. So when I say something that this product is good, it means it is good. Especially when it comes to screen protection, I have tested, I've tried, from the times of, when I used to work with BlackBerry. So, I've always been keen about protecting devices, and we always used to advise customers. So, there are a lot of brands in the market, but, the kind of finesse, the quality, the strength, what you say, I find it on Panzerglas. So I would like to explain, 101 of screen protection, explain a bit on the technical side. What are the materials used? What is the, production process? How does it work?
Yeah, the first of all, I want to stress out a little bit about, that we are focused on glass only. So we are doing nothing else. Most of our competitors out there, they're doing a lot of other accessories like batteries, cases, etc., etc. So, but we are focused on glass only. We have own factory, and the production process, it's like, yeah, you can imagine, as the name is calling that a little bit, it's tempered glass. So it's like a bakery. And the longer you bake the glass, the better the quality and the hardness is. Basically, it's a 4-layer glass. And the center of it all, the focus of it all is the glass itself. And this is tempered, so it's baking. And this takes a long time. And also, about, all the cutouts, like the camera, the microphone, etc., etc. This is CNC cutting. And this also takes time. The more time you take in the production process, the better the quality is.
Okay, so let's go back further a bit, and then we'll come back. I understand, especially in the mobile gadgets and mobile consumer electronics market, especially the COVID-19 has impacted a lot. It's taking a toll because the physical value chain has been disturbed. So, what is the Glass situation in all of this scenario? How you guys are dealing with it?
Yeah, first of all, we are all together in that one, in this crisis. And so we try to support all our partners as good as we can, both economically and also, with daily operations. What we try to keep open. We try to enforce the online business on Glass side as well as on our customer side. And one good thing what we have is that we launched, and you remember we met there, Rizwan, IFA last year, 2019. We soft launched a brand new product, which we developed together with the Danish Technological Institute. And this is a spray twice a day. So the name is the mission and the vision in one, because if you clean your phone with this liquid, what we developed with the Danish Technological Institute, then you kill 99.99 of all bacteria, virus, and germs on your mobile phone and any other display, maybe tablet or notebook. And for your information, I don't know whether you know that or not. So on your smartphone screen, there's more bacteria and germs than on a public toilet seat. So this is, and you can see that, in the net now during the COVID-19 crisis, that BBC is recommending cleaning the phone, and all the media is recommending cleaning the phone antibacterial. And we have the right product. It's called Spray Twice a Day. And this helps us also in the still open physical stores to kind of generate revenue streams. But of course, we are suffering together with our partners because the doors, the physical stores, they are not open.
Well, you rightly said, it was also mentioned in Times magazine and also research by one of universities in Arizona and a lot of health specialists. Your phone screen is actually 10 times more dirtier than your toilet seat.
It's 10 times. Okay, it's even better. Yeah.
Can you imagine 10 times? I'm
That's
not touching my
disgusting.
phone again. Whenever
That's
I think about
disgusting.
that, I don't want to touch my screen. And probably, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's around 17,000 bacteria per square inch on the screen of the phone of a typical high school person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
probably it can be more for us because we travel in subways, we are touching every surface, and the same hand touches the screen, and the same screen is touching your cheeks while you're talking and your ear. So imagine the kind of germs you're getting. So I
Yeah.
believe what you guys have come up can be really fantastic. Uh, Tell me more about that spray. I wanted to ask that question later, but since you have brought this up, and this idea of having our phone is 10 times more dirtier than the toilet seat.
Yeah.
So tell me about this particular spray and the ingredients. What does it make it up for?
Yeah. So first of all, we wanted to create something special because there are hand sanitizers out there and there are alcohol antibacterial cleaners out there. So the first requirement what we had for this product was it has to be eco-friendly because we have a green manifesto. We want to be eco-friendly. We want to save the planet with our products, and that's why there's it's a bio product. So it's biodegradable, and there's no alcohol in it. So what we are
Really?
doing is it's no alcohol in it, literally no alcohol. And this is what makes this spray twice a day product so special. But the killing feature is still the same. Like you use like a 70% pure alcohol product, so it's very strong.
Okay. So tell me, it's not martini, as the name suggests, Bond. Just
Yeah,
tea.
but
I- I'm not hiding martini in my teacup. So,
yeah,
in my opinion, when it comes to a product, especially when you talk about mobile consumer electronics, it has to satisfy and it has to connect to the customer. So, for example, since we are talking about screen protection, so personally, as a customer, I would want a product which is robust, which is strong, which is reliable, which is good value for money. When I say good value for money, it's not that if I bought a 1500 euros device and I just want a €1 screen protection. Value for money is that if I'm spending 30, 35, 20 euros, it's going to last. It's going to protect my $2,000 device.
yes,
Uh, and also, I want a whole ecosystem around it. So, the product should cater to most or all of the top devices, all kinds of screens, and not just the smartphones, but tablets and laptops. Then I would also like a proper user and consumer experience around it. So I want a good customer care. I uh, I want a good after sale service. I want a good guarantee or a warranty. And then I would also want new innovations, what that particular product is bringing in. So, in terms of the ecosystem and in terms of the brands you guys support for your screen protection solutions, uh, tell us more about it.
yeah. Welcome to Glass. We provided all what you just said and asked for. Uh, I think we have the broadest range, both for smartphones and tablets and notebooks. And we are also the one brand in screen protection which has a strong focus on privacy. And not enough with privacy, we created a unique product with a patent. It's the Glass dual privacy cam slider. And this cam slider is opening and closing physically because it's integrated in our screen protector, the front camera of your phone. So I don't know whether you know that or not, but if you tap into a public Wi-Fi, then in this public Wi-Fi, of course, you read the 7, 8 pages of terms and conditions before you say I agree. So nobody's doing that because you want internet now, right? Just now, right away. So you agree, but what you agree and what is ingredient in these 7, 8 pages of terms and conditions is very often that in case of technical emergency, uh, the operator of this public Wi-Fi might gain access to your front camera. And this is not what you want. You close your house door, you close your car, you shut your doors. Why don't you do that with your front camera? Because this is the entrance door into your system. So when you close that physically, and even Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, he has a plaster. Uh,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
famous YouTube video, everybody knows it. This famous interview, and so many people are doing that, and we have that for all the products. So no more plasters anymore. Use Glass screen protectors, dual privacy. Then you can physically close with an easy slider the front camera of your smartphone, of your tablet, and of your notebook. And to make that even more nice and to also address the female audience, we put on top of this cam slider in a collaboration with Swarovski, a very nice Swarovski crystal. So it looks like a diamond. And not only that, from that, we took a collaboration with Swarovski and together with PopSockets. PopSockets is the brand here. You know them?
Wow.
And it's Swarovski stones. You can see that.
You never sent me that.
Yeah, but it's always good to have an object of desire in backhand.
Absolutely.
And so
You're keeping all the beautiful things away from me
yeah, but this
for
is
now.
it's 1 week before we have it in the market. So this is a very nice project what we are having together with PopSockets. So it's a pop socket with Swarovski stones. And on
Wow.
the front side, there's no mobile in it now because it's a mock-up. And on the front side, we have the cam slider with a Swarovski stone from Glass on top of it.
I think it's one of the key factors when it comes to device form factor and how the body shapes up. So it's always the screen and the edges which always get the most of the pressure of a fall or a damage. So when I see the cases you guys have developed, as long as the sides and the screen is protected, usually nothing happens to the device.
Yeah.
So coming back to the previous question, I don't want to upset you by taking names of your competition, but I've tried and tested, and I was also doing some before a call checking online getting some new figures as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of reviews by plenty of magazines about other brands and all. But what I find strange is that when somebody claims to be, let's say, the most strongest or unbreakable, but either they're making something for iPhone or Samsung or Huawei, and there are just few models out there. So again, for me, if it's a consumer brand, and consumer means there are, I don't know, I'm going to look at the numbers, which today I got new numbers on the shipments of smartphones worldwide, but it's around more than 150 million. So when you're talking about these numbers, that means a lot of models, a lot of segments. There are sub $300 devices, sub 400, sub 700, sub 1,000 and above.
Yeah.
So I want a brand, or my market or a certain market wants a brand which at least caters to the top 10 brands and then top 20 or 30 screen sizes of those smartphones. So if I go to a store, let's say I'm passing through an airport and I'm with my family, and one has an iPhone, one has a Huawei, one has a Samsung, one has a OnePlus, or let's say Xiaomi. They're all different screen sizes, different price points. So if I'm able to purchase, my beloved brand Panzer for my Huawei, but then one of my family member can't find something for Xiaomi or let's say for Samsung. So I want you to tell the audience about the brands you support in terms of the screens you guys make. And also, I would like you to emphasize that when it comes to making a product for another product, when we talk about accessories, it's all about having the exact conformity to, exact specs of the screen, the thickness. And I really like, I love it that, you guys go to the details. Well, it feels like when I see the packing or the product, it feels like you're looking at a product from Apple. The beauty is always in the details. So tell us about the brands you do, but importantly, I want the audience to know that you guys are doing work on a certified level.
Mm-hmm.
So for each brand, how do you guys operate in terms of certification?
So, I give you an example. Of course, we cover all the phones from Apple and Samsung because they are the market leading mobile phone brands in the world. But except Apple, because they are not having a program like that, we are on a certification partnership with each and any brand, with Xiaomi, with Huawei, with Samsung, with Motorola, with Oppo, with OnePlus. Even we carry some SKUs from BlackBerry still. And there's a program called SMAP. So it's a Samsung Mobile Accessory Program. And it's not easy to tap into this program, but if you are a member of this program, of course, you get the information of upcoming phones which are to launch very soon. So we have the phones prior to launch so that we can produce a high quality screen protector upfront. So, and we have these partnerships also with Huawei, we have it with Motorola, etc., etc. For example, with Microsoft, we are the one and only brand selling in the US in the Microsoft stores and also online. And we have the Microsoft Surface certification on each of our packages for those products, this kind of logo or sign is showed.
Wow, that sounds impressive. So in terms of if you were to take the names of all the brands you make screen protectors for, can you list them?
Let me try. So first of all, of course, Apple. Then we have Samsung. Then we have Huawei. Then we have Xiaomi. Then we have Oppo. Then we have Sony. Still BlackBerry, LG. We even have Gigaset. So, what else?
What about the laptop brands?
You know, laptop is a little bit different from that because we have a patented product for laptops, which works very universal. So I can show you one of them. It's this. It's privacy because this is okay. It's protecting the screen. But, and by the way, you can see the brand Diesel. This is another collaboration project what we are having, you know, with this fashion brand. You did
Wow,
not see that before.
you did
So
not even tell me.
this is another collaboration project. And of course,
I know about another posh German brand, which I'm gonna name later, but this one you didn't tell me.
you know, of course, with posh German brands or other posh brands, we always try to, you know, transform the black display into an advertising space, because there is no brand showed on the front side of a display. So what we created is also a patented procedure, and it's called Brandt Glass. You know that. You know, we did it
Yeah.
for Cristiano Ronaldo, the CR7. You know, it's a mixture of sandblasting and laser technology, and you know, it looks like when the display is off, it looks like, you know, the how do you call that, the milky glass, what you have in the bathroom. And once you switch on the display and light comes through the display, it disappears. We call it on-off logo with Brandt Glass.
Yeah, it really looks brilliant and beautiful. It's like a silhouette on the background.
It's
But
really cool. Yeah.
but
It's really cool.
but when you guys are doing this for James Bond,
You know, we are saving some money, and maybe next year we can afford the license fee. So let's see if we come up with that. Or maybe we ride piggyback with another brand, because we heard that Sony is very close again in the next movie. So this also might be an entrance door to that one. But back to the laptop screen protector. So as you can see, can you see it? Of
yeah,
course,
yeah,
it has the cam slider, but it also has the hooks here. And if I take my second display, which is a notebook here, I try to bring it into the screen. You see it?
yes, I can.
And then, and on it is. And if I don't need it, I just turn it around and put it on the back side. So for all the traveling people who are not traveling so much at the moment, this is the perfect solution, because no stickers, no Velcro, none of these solutions, what they used to have in the past to have the privacy. And again, it's dual privacy. You know, you can't see from the angles, and you can open and close your front camera. So it's against visual hacking, and it's against spying. And
I think
sorry, and this product we have in 13, 14, and 15 inch. And those three sizes serve more than 95% of all the laptops out there.
wow.
Yes.
So I think when you talk about privacy
Nice
and
glasses.
secrecy,
You look
thanks.
now you look like a professor.
Okay. I'll take it as a compliment. I think the you
A
know
very
the older
young professor, of course.
well the old you know well James Bond is never wearing glasses, but I think the older James Bonds they're all wearing them. So probably we are in that range. You talked
Yeah.
about privacy and secrecy, so that is also one of the Bond features as well. So
Yeah.
I think people are not traveling and people are not in their offices, but interestingly, people are working from their homes, and you and me and all of us have seen those funny videos on Instagram and Facebook. Well, people are trying to have Zoom calls or Skype calls, and something funny is happening in the background, or
Yeah.
your family or your wife or someone
Actually,
else is
they're really funny. Yeah.
in on the screen. So I think from the family members sneaking on your screen or vice versa, it's good to have some privacy on your laptops and tablets. So I think that particular product of yours is comes quite handy. Uh, in terms of Microsoft Surface, you mentioned that you guys are the only ones. That's quite impressive. Is it possible to show us how does the product looks like?
The Microsoft Surface one.
Yeah.
I can try that.
Okay, I have another idea. Can
Ah,
we play sort of a quick video of one of these products on the screen for our audience?
yeah, I think what could be a good idea is a walkthrough through our booth we had on IFA 2019, because this gives a nice overview about how we look like in front of the customers and what the different categories are. So you want to see that one?
Oh yeah, I would love that. Yeah, let's do
Okay,
that.
so let me try
Cool.
if I can manage that one. So oops, and let me see. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can. You have a lot of files.
All for you.
You've hidden the pawn files.
So, can you see the movie? But it's without.
uh,
No,
Not yet.
not yet. Then wait. Uh,
I can see the video icon on the bottom.
yeah, it's on the wrong. Wait. It's. I have to do that here, and then we try again. Oh, we take this one. No, it's again on the wrong. Up. Wait. I know what to do. Give me another second.
Not at all. I think it can be a good practice and demo for the audience who are not too much into Zoom. Actually, later I have a figure on Zoom as well, which you and audience would be really surprised to know.
Okay. So let me try that one, and then
Booth.
now you should see it.
Oh, lovely.
And you hear the sound as well?
I can. Yes.
So this is 360 of the IFA fair, together with also the events what we did around that. But look and enjoy.
Oh, Jesper. I can see Jesper.
This, by the way, is our customer experience center in Berlin, where we are running literally a store. We had events there every evening of the IFA.
Wow, that looks fancy. I like the Penza hat.
Yep. You don't have one of them?
No, I think
I can change that.
actually hat can also be on the reverse color. So like orange with the black or black
True,
with the
yeah.
orange stripe.
So, and one more thing. Give me a second. This should be. Have a look at that one. So this is the cam slider.
Okay.
And on top of it is the Swarovski.
Oh, that looks really
And
beautiful.
now, you talked about posh brands. So there are not
This,
so many brands out there where you can have something as a logo, and immediately when you see a very, very small logo, so BMW could be an example for that. The white and blue propeller of an airplane, which is the logo of BMW. If you put that instead of the Swarovski stone, you immediately figure that this is about BMW. So this is a BMW product. So there are
actually,
some
that's
other
really
products
neat
out there.
because
Sorry, say it again.
that's really neat. I
Yeah,
said that's really neat. It also probably offers an opportunity for enterprise brands to have their custom advertisement or ads on the screens, probably.
exactly, exactly. And
So,
yeah,
no, no, please go ahead.
yeah, we are also, of course, we are elaborating a lot on B2B, and we have some really big clients out there, global consultancies, not to say any names, and of course they are in need for privacy, and but they are also in need to show their brand. Again, it's about transforming the black display into an advertising space. And you can do that, on top of the cam slider. If it's, the first letter of your brand name or whatsoever. Just to give you another hint.
I'm getting all the hints. Okay, tell me one thing. So how, especially again, coming back to the current situation, the whole world is, in especially our industry. How Panzer is handling this challenge in this particular scenario on your customer, consumer, and your partner relationships. And because in the near future there'll be no events like IFA, MWC was cancelled, so TWFA and all. So in the absence of the events and the chance to have face-to-face customer interaction,
Yeah.
how you guys are going to deal with it?
We do have concepts in preparation for that. We also think that a fair, and it might even be that there is no CES in Las Vegas in January. So
Okay.
looking forward, we see the need for a strong alternative, because we are a fair brand. So the fairs, MWC, you mentioned that, TFWA in the travel retail duty free sector, of course IFA, where the whole journey of Panzerglas started, and CES, just to name the biggest ones, is more than important. It's super important for Panzerglas. And so we are thinking about, a roadshow maybe. This could be something. And a task force within Panzerglas is working on that. And we will announce that within the next 2 weeks, how we go to replace our stand, our booth in IFA Fair. And the whole concept will start at IFA in Berlin, because there are still people around coming to IFA. As you know, we have this customer experience center in the Karl Marx Allee, one of the most famous streets and places. It's right between Frankfurter Tor and Alexanderplatz.
Yeah.
It's a very nice location. We did a lot of customer events already there, and there we will start, how we think we can at least try to replace the fairs.
Okay. So again, going back a bit forward. Um, Number one, what new products and collaborations customers can expect in future from Panzer Glass? But how these your collaborations and strategic partnerships with brands like PopSocket, Swarovski, Eskeros, and hopefully one of the premium writing instruments from Germany, Mont Blanc.
I
A
didn't hear.
little bird told me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But no, we did not highlight enough Scross so far. So since end of last year, we agreed a strategic partnership with Scross in the field of travel retail and duty free. And now the first outcomes are knocking on the door. So we will launch in very near future first bundles. And again here, we have two big challenges in Panzerglas. One, once our product is applied and the sales packaging is in the litter box, our brand is invisible. Of course it is. Nobody wants to have a Panzerglas logo in front of the display. Maybe they want to have a Swarovski stone, or they want to have a BMW logo on front of the phone, or a CR7, but no Panzerglas. So this is one thing. And the other thing is that our products are super device specific. So that means, it's only fitting this iPhone 10. Okay, now we are a specialist in making, the one for iPhone 10 also compatible and upwards compatible and downwards compatible, with the other products like iPhone 11 Pro then, or the XS in case of Apple. But still, it's device specific. This is not the case with a power bank of Scross. So we are super happy that we are now having, with Spray Twice a Day, a product everybody is now in need for. And I can tell you we are under allocation because the demand for this product is incredibly high. It's really incredibly high. And now we bring this demand for our product together with the Scross products, like, for example, a power bank. Because imagine, you need in the future, you need an app to track the COVID-19. This will come for sure. Then, you don't want to run out of power with your mobile phone. So what do? You have an extra insurance in your pocket, and this is a power bank. Scross is having those power banks. So then, as you mentioned, your kids, all of them, different devices. So we have USB-C, you have micro USB, you have Lightning adapters. Scross has a unique solutions. They have a charging cable which fits all. So they have all the three adapters on it. So, and then we put into this bundle, we put a bottle of Spray Twice a Day with a refill. And then the whole ingredients we put in a transparent pouch, which you afterwards, first it works as a sales package, but afterwards you can double use it. And this is also eco-friendly and sustainable. You can double use it as the pouch you then use for your liquids when you go to the security control of the airport. So this is one of the bundles we are bringing now.
Okay, so I think in your answer you have brought up a very interesting point. I think in all of this scenario, in mobile consumer electronics and gadgets, I think going forward, partnerships will play a key role, and
Yes.
and especially where brands rather complement each other and not in competition with each other. As if Sam and Pia is listening to our this digital podcast, in my personal opinion, I tell people I'm quite an expert when it comes to power solutions as well. I think SK Ross is probably the authority on power adapters across the world.
Yeah, the clear
They
category.
are the only one.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
and I would say the Extom guys from Holland. So
Yeah.
a friend of mine from there, he actually told me that when it comes to travel adapters and travel chargers, which service all kinds of current specs and pole specifications, they don't go to that area. They leave it to Eskeros. So these
Yeah.
were his words.
Yeah.
And especially the quality and the finesse in their product form factor and the reliability. Because if even I'm charging 2 or 3 devices anywhere in the world, I'm traveling, I'm at the airport, in my house, in another country, like psychologically, I have peace of mind that this adapter will not blow up.
Yeah.
Like,
Swiss quality.
Swiss quality, Swiss
Yeah.
design.
Yeah.
So when again we are talking about screen protection, so at the same time we are talking about the device engine protection. So you have a $2,000 device, you don't want to blow it up with incorrect current supply or power supply.
Yeah.
And you need to have, or you need to spend a decent amount of money, or make the right choice of having the right charger for your
Of course.
device.
Of course. So
So
we never have any partnership with what we call jingy-lingy, the cheap Chinese accessory, because it doesn't make any sense to partner up with a cheap accessory product. This is not our mission. This is not our peer group. It's also, how come that people are using for, as you mentioned, for more than $1,000 device, cheap accessory. So you don't have like bicycle tires on your Mercedes-Benz. So then you also go for decent accessory. So why is that in the mobile industry? So it's in the car industry, for example, it's about original accessory and high quality branded accessory. And this is a daily mission what we are having. It's like weeding your garden. You can't stop with that. You have to do it, every minute, every day, constantly. And so what we are looking for is partnerships with brands like Pop Sockets. They are the clear category captain. They invented something fantastic. They have a very female and young and colorful and fresh audience. What we are not having, we are a little bit too male in my perception. So that helps us a lot. And then also, when it comes to travel retail and duty free, there is, not to my knowledge at least, no brand out there who is present in so many doors or behind so many doors as Cross in the electronics, in the accessory field. So of course it makes a lot of sense, if we bring these reputations kind of together.
absolutely. And for me, when again talking about the quality, so if you have a quality product and you have any quality item, you want to accessorize or complement it with quality. Uh, I think it's human nature. For example, I tell people, again, we were talking about vehicles,
Yeah.
car industry. Um, well, I have seen people who are from top to bottom branded with BMW or Mercedes, wearing the cap, wearing the jacket, even
Yeah, true.
sneakers, but they would go to a cheap roadside store and buy a, let's say, $1 screen protection for their iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny, but also creepy.
Actually, I like this word. It's creepy because you're going to break it, because it's going to break in next 5 minutes. And next time when it breaks, it's not going to take the impact of the force, and it's going to transfer to the screen.
Yeah,
And you're going to end up getting it fixed, but it will always remain broken.
yeah.
See, it's like
So true.
when you even in healthcare, when you have infection, you take antibiotics, or you get the proper correct treatment. You don't treat your infection or a serious disease with paracetamol or Panadol or aspirin. So I think probably we need to come up with some kind of phrase that stop using aspirin for your phones.
Okay, okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. Do I have to pay for consultancy or was it a free
Well,
one?
you guys are very close to my heart. We are friends, so it's
Yeah, likewise. Likewise. I couldn't underline that more. Thank you.
so. Tell me, you guys. I learned this phrase, especially in Africa. When you are in Africa and you're having conversations with Africans, they have their own phrases. So the word claim is one of the key when you're saying something, and sometimes they'll question you. You are claiming.
Yeah,
So you guys claim to be green.
yeah,
Okay, so we have about 5-6 minutes left for a session. So
yeah,
I'll quickly ask you quick questions, and then we're gonna
yeah.
talk
Okay.
about. So tell us about the green thing.
As Kermit the Frog says, it's not easy to be green. And of course, saying we have this green manifesto, we have a green agenda, etc., etc. we constantly, since we came up with that one, get challenged. And first of all, we are green by nature. That means, we protect displays from breakage. And, the probability that we avoid the breakage of the display is more than 90%. And we have that, certified by TÜV Süd, which is, world famous for certifications of technical stuff. And that means, we work like, as said in the beginning, we work like a physical insurance. That means, imagine an airbag. You need an airbag in your car. So literally no cars are out there without an airbag today. And but when you need the airbag, so you have an accident, and you drop your phone, and you drop it so hard that it even breaks the Panzer glass, then that means, in this case, your display would have been broken 100%. In the case of the airbag, you most likely would have kind of injured. But afterwards, you need a new airbag, and afterwards you need a new Panzer glass. So, and here comes the difference, and here comes the natural reason for us being green. Because if the display would have been broken, it would go into a landfill, right? So, but the ingredients are toxic. They are rare salts, rare metals, it's really bad for the planet if displays go into landfills. But if we protect the display with a glass called Panzer glass, it's a piece of glass, and you can put it in the same recycling bin where you also put your glass bottles, and then it's back in the circle. So this is, the headline of us being green. And then of course, we are reducing plastic in our sales packages. We already did that now by more than 60%, reducing plastic. We also reduce plastic in our, the outer cartons, in our sales and supply chain. So we are reducing plastic wherever we can. In the headquarters, for example, we switched from one internet service provider to another because he's using green energy. So we are using solar energy in the headquarters. We are using sustainable, food in the headquarters because we don't buy from outside. We have our own canteen in the headquarters, and they're cooking, fresh stuff from the market. Just to give you a few examples. So, being green is a mindset. It's not, a sheet of paper where you say, and now we did this and this and this. It's an ongoing process. Again, it's like weeding the garden, Either you have this green mindset or not. So, and we clearly have this green mindset, and we just try, wherever we can to make the planet a better place.
No, I think you rightly said. Just like the success is a mindset, so I think being green is also a mindset.
Yes.
Quickly coming to our last question. So, okay, that little bird, one of my spy birds tell me that, apart from being the A bag in front of your smartphone screens, and being clean and being antibacterial, spray twice a day, you guys are coming up with anti-glare, antibacterial, and anti-blue light.
Yes.
Well.
Yes, we call that triple A. So if you have another minute, I can show you the picture, how the package would look like.
I would love that. I'm really excited about this range.
Yeah, and then we can just walk through these slides. Give me a second. Try to do that. And this is, where is it? The AAA. So can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay, then okay. We do it because now it's again on the other side, but okay. So this is how the packaging looks like. So it's 3 different features. It's, as you said, it's antibacterial, it's anti-blue light, and it's anti-glare. And the antibacterial, of course, during this COVID-19 crisis is the most important product out of these. But it will come in like 3 weeks' time. We will launch it. and we will launch it for the most important phones. So it's going to cover all the Apple SKUs, all the Apple devices first. And believe it or not, so the logo, what you can see on the packaging is blurred because we can't tell who is the technological partner yet for legal issues. And it's killing the same amount of bacteria as our spray twice a day. And this
Wow.
for a period of at least 12 months in the same quality of killing the bacteria. So it's killing 99.9999% of bacteria. And it's a new technology. We are not the only ones out there, but the way we are doing that, of course, it's the Glass way, it's unique. And then the anti-blue light, this, of course, everybody knows about it. And the anti-glare, with the upcoming summer now, it's reducing the reflections on your screen. That's why we call it AAA, anti-glare, anti-blue light, and antimicrobial. And here I am again.
Okay, brilliant. Now I am really excited. I think the kind of products and the
So are we.
innovations.
So are we. We are happy. So even being locked down in several countries and most of our colleagues being in the home offices, we had a very productive last 3 months. And of course, we are waiting desperately for whatever it is. Some call it the new normal, but what is the new normal? What I think is that if we expect things being like they were before COVID-19, then we might get disappointed because nobody of us does know how long it will last. So how can we be prepared for that one? So why don't we think out of the box and create something what adapts the situation on the go? So like not thinking day by day, but being flexible, come with kind of new solutions in these crazy times.
Wow, brilliant, brilliantly put. I think it's very important, as you rightly said, that we need to embrace the change because in the history of humans, either technology advancements or natural calamity has forced humans as a consequence to change their patterns of lives. So in this particular situation, it's COVID-19, which has made us more virtual and digital. So, just like I call it working smart from home. So I think things will never be the same. Definitely, if it'll be naive for us to believe that things will go back to the normal as they used to be. Uh, it won't be.
Yeah,
I think it's
I
time
agree.
for all to understand and embrace the change, and probably work around that to become more digitally smart. So all of us are talking about digital transformation and all the those hashtag words, but to actually work around it with something with a clear direction and purpose. So I think now these times are actually giving us an opportunity to actually digitally transform us
Yeah,
into
yeah.
personal lives, into
I
work
couldn't agree
lives.
more. Yeah. Yeah.
So in my closing remarks, I would like to say a few words for you guys and for the audience, is that uh, Glass is your airbag, literally. I was traveling a couple of months ago. You were aware of that. So before I received your shipment, in which one of the screens were from one of my Huawei, I
Yeah.
tried 4 screens and they were not cheap. They were not fancy. Would you believe? Each time they just, even for a little bump to next to the corner of the chair, they were literally breaking up.
Mhm.
So imagine if you have a fall of your device and your screen breaks. of your 1500 euro device. It's not a good feeling.
Nope.
Everything broken can be fixed, but everything fixed remains broken. Personally, I would never want that if I have my Porsche RS Huawei and the screen was repaired. I don't want to carry that. I have that thing. I don't know about others, but it's better to protect your devices by spending 10, 20, $30 of quality Penza glass rather than, sulking or crying or nagging all the time. It's like a itch in your brain when you get a scratch or a little crack in your screen. So it's a virtual itch inside your brain. You can't do that. You can't do that. So might as well have pens around that.
Yeah.
And this was another one of our immersive sessions on Bond's base station, which is more like when you have a base camp towards a summit. So this is a base station for our tech time travelers who dock in here, talk about their journey, their challenges, what they're doing for the industry. And today we had one of our amazing and brilliant guests and a friend of mine as well, Christian, who was talking about Penza Glass and how they have been instrumental and have been serving the industry to protect the screens and the lives of the devices. So I would be over and out from Johannesburg. So over to you, Christian, for your last words before you sign off.
Okay, my friend Rizwan. So thank you for this opportunity. It was a real pleasure talking with you. And yeah, stay safe and over and out.
Over and out. See you soon.
See you soon.